So I'm LaPortia, and I'm a realtor in the Virginia, Richmond area. And today we are talking to Miss Phyllis, right? I said that right?
Yes.
With Genesis Consulting Experts. And she is a credit repair specialist, right?
Yes.
All right. So tell me about your job a little bit and yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Phyllis. I live in the Colonial Heights area. I've been doing credit repair now 5 years.
Okay.
I made it legal 2 years ago almost. I started off, I fixed my own credit. I was 5 years ago, I was in the 500s, and I was like, okay, enough of this. It's time to make a change. So I started working on my own credit, just basically researching, not knowing how it was going to turn out. So in 6 months, I landed myself a 700 plus credit score. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, well, let me try my husband, let me try my mama, let me try my son. So I
Mm-hmm.
fixed their credit. So I was like, okay. So ironically, I bumped into my mentor, who's a millionaire on Facebook. She made $1 million in 18 months just off of credit. So she was like, "Well, you need to make this a job, young lady. You can
Right.
get paid for helping people, change their life." So, like I said, almost 2 years ago, I started my own company, Genesis Consultant Expert. So from there, I just help people fix their credit, fix their
Right,
life.
right.
Yeah.
And so, because credit repair is big business these days. Everybody has a credit repair company or knows somebody who has a credit repair company. What would you say would be the thing that makes your company different from the gazillions that are out there?
Absolutely. One on one with my clients, always available. They can text me, they can call me. I'm always there for any of those questions. I told them, leave no stones unturned. If it's something you need to know, reach out to me. This is what I'm here to help you. So, I'm there to guide them, to get them financial tips, to help alleviate any concerns that they may have as far as this credit repair process is concerned. So I don't just take their money and then don't speak with them in until 30 days. They speak
Mm-hmm.
with me at least once a week.
Oh, that is awesome because there are so many companies that you pay monthly for, but then you might talk to them every 45 days,
Correct.
or you might not even get an update in 45 days. You have to
Right.
call them to say, what is going on with,
Yes.
like, and so you just feel so out of touch. I know you can tell that I've been through some of these things. I've
Yes.
had clients who have been through some of these things.
Right.
so people come to me and they are so frustrated with the process, and they're like, I'm not paying another soul to touch my credit.
Yes.
Yeah, so I get it. That is what we need kind of more of, is that hands-on approach. So I'm glad that's
Yes.
something that you're able to do. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into the list of questions that I kind of provided to you. First one being, what are some of the biggest benefits, or how much money have you seen someone save because of having a better or good credit score?
It's a huge benefit. Like I said, 5 years ago, I had a car from a buy here, pay here place. I think the interest rate was well over 20%. So,
Mm,
I'm paying more than the average person because a 500 credit score, I'm paying a high interest rate versus I seen the difference once I fixed my credit. Now my interest rate is only 3%, 4%. So, you
mm,
definitely save money. And there's a lot of things people don't know or don't realize that interest rates are huge.
right.
So it makes a difference having good credit. It makes a difference whether you're going to get approved for your utility bill with a security deposit or without a security deposit.
Yeah.
A loan getting approved with a high interest rate or not getting approved at all.
Hmm.
And the list just goes on from being pre-approved for a home. You may get approved, but it's a high interest rate, or you just may flat out get that no. So the
Right.
benefits of having a good credit score is like overly important.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. 17% APR difference is like basically buying your car three times.
Exactly.
Like it's
Exactly.
and I was there. The first car I ever purchased, my APR was like 23%.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that that wasn't normal. Like until
Yeah.
I was talking to at that time a coworker, and she says 23%. Are you gonna refinance? I'm like, what is a refinance? What does that mean? Like I had no idea. So she had to like she was about 20 years older than me, and she was like, no, you need to refinance your loan. Like that's ridiculous what you're paying. And I was just like, oh, I thought it was normal, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know any better. My credit was jacked up. I had just left out of college, had a gazillion credit cards. I didn't have anything else. And if I couldn't pay it, I didn't pay it. I didn't think nothing of it, because
Yes.
those aren't things that you're really taught. What would you say are the top three things other than paying your bills on time? Because everybody knows like pay your bills on time, right? But
Mm.
sometimes that's just not. Sometimes the decision is pay my credit card bill or put gas on my car so I can go to work today. So you're
Mhm.
gonna put gas in your car so you can go to work today. So other than paying your bills on time, right? What would you say are some like the top three things that someone could do to increase or manage their scores better?
I would say the number one thing is to check your credit once a year, the free annual creditreport.com. Check it once a year just to make sure that things are intact. These are your accounts, they're reporting correctly, because that plays a huge factor. Because a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people may have accounts that don't belong to them because if you have a popular name such as myself, Phyllis Hughes. So,
Mm,
check your reports, make sure everything is reporting correctly. If you have a family member that you can be an authorized user on their card to help you, tell them to add you to their card. That help make sure that you have a positive payment history. And then another thing is just don't apply for anything where you will cause an inquiry to make your scores drop.
hmm So don't get that new Old Navy card every time you go
Right, just because you're
shopping.
approved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they tell you you're gonna get 10% off, and you
yeah,
stop and
right.
like you at Victoria's Secret and Old Navy
Oh,
and
yeah, it's
Kohl's.
tempting.
Yeah,
It's tempting.
yeah.
But I tell my clients mindset. After a while, we have to change our mindset. Like my light bulb went off 5 years ago when it should have been went off. But hey, better late than never.
Right.
Change your mindset. I mean, it's huge benefits with having good credit.
Yeah, yeah. And if someone wanted to enlist the help of a credit repair company, what attributes, like what things should they be looking for? So let's just, it's there's so many of them and they're put out there so frequently. And so you can just if you talk about credit, you're gonna have credit repair companies pop up in your Facebook feed, right? Like
Yes.
that's just kind of how it works now. So if someone was to look for a company specifically for this reason, what type of things should they be looking for? What questions should they ask aside from how much it costs?
I'm a research queen, so I'm looking at Google reviews. I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
to see if you got any other type of reviews. I'm looking on Facebook pages. I'm looking on websites. I'm just looking, doing my research to make sure that this is a company that I want to invest in, that I want to spend my money with. You see a lot of ads, like you say, because there's so many of us. We can fix your credit in 30 days, or we can guarantee 100 points in 30 days. I tell people, run. You
Mm,
cannot get your credit fixed in 30 days. So
right.
if they're telling you this, more than likely they're trying to get your money. So, just do your research, ask around, because you know that word of mouth, like bad news travel faster than
Hmm.
good news. So
That is right.
if you done did some dirt, you best believe it's gonna come back and find you. So
Yep. I will write a bad review so fast.
I try to be nice.
Yeah, when it's like, oh, this is something bad has happened, my first thing is everybody else needs to know.
Right.
So if I usually, if I can find information about a company but I can't find any reviews, then I feel like, well, maybe they aren't so bad, because people will definitely write a bad review. It take them longer to write a good one,
Yeah.
but if it's bad reviews out there, that's just bad. That means somebody went out of their way to be like, this is a horrible company.
Right. They had a bad experience.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I look at reviews, but everything is not going to be a perfect world. So I look
Right.
at the kind of review because some people just mad. You
Right.
want your money back and they not going to give it back to you because they
Mhm.
don't perform the service. So I
Yeah.
look at the reviews just to make sure this just ain't somebody because you call me at 8 o'clock at night and I'm eating and I'm not going to take your calls.
Right. Right. Yes, that is true. Once you give people kind of direct line to you, they feel like they can use it whenever.
Oh, yeah. I
Because
know.
I know, because personally, sometimes I'll have clients text me at like 12, like, "Oh, I'm looking at this house," and it's like midnight, and
Right.
and usually I don't mind because I just respond in the morning, and I've already had that conversation, like, "Hey, as soon as you see something, text me and let me know so we can be out first thing." But it's just funny how many. A lot of people would just be like, "I'm not texting her at midnight," but some people really will just text
Oh,
you
yeah.
at midnight and they don't care
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're giving them that line to you now. So
Right.
yeah. All right. So, so let's see. Let's touch on the different types of scores that there are. So, I only know a little bit about the different types of scores and what they're used for, but I learn more every day. So many people use like Credit Karma, or
Mhm.
just the credit card that they have shows you their score. What are usually the free ones? Talk to us a little bit about the different types of scores, and then the ones that you see usually from just free sites.
Yeah, Credit Karma is definitely a free credit monitoring site. Those sponsor ads pay them to be up and running so they can offer free credit monitoring service. Their scores can be off by as much as 50 points. My
50
cli
points?
my clients are C 602 and they ready to run to the actually one ran to the car lot 602. And I was like, why did you do that? Because Credit Karma said that it was
Mm,
602. Credit Karma can be off by as much as 50 points. I was like, Credit Karma, which is called Vantage Scores, they're
mhm.
educational purposes only. So the only time I tell people to peep at their Credit Karma, it lets you know what type of changes taking place, maybe some inquiries removed off of your credit report, or maybe a collection removed. But other than the true depiction of your score, stay away from Credit Karma. FICO scores is what the lenders use. Some car lots, they use FICO scores, which use a whole totally different scoring system. And I tell people with the FICO score, it's over 20 plus FICO scores. The most widely one that's used is FICO 8, but it just depends on the lender which one they're going to use when they run your credit. Now, one example I like to give with like the Vantage score versus the score. If your credit utilization is pretty high and you go to get a line of credit or some type of credit extended to you, if someone did use Vantage scores, if they pull it, you may stand a slim chance of getting whatever you was approved for. But if that credit utilization is high with your FICO on your FICO side, you're not going to get it.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's just a whole lot of systems out there, different FICO scores that lenders use.
So you said there are 20 different FICO scores?
There are over 20 different FICO scores.
That is crazy. And so is it
Mhm.
like, is it more so based off industry, or is it different models, or how does that?
Different both industries and
Oh,
models,
Jesus.
like they have the automobile, the
Hmm.
bank card, the mortgage, both. And FICO is just so in detailed. I tell a lot of people, if you want real like a lot of information about FICO scores, to go out to myfico.com. They're phenomenal how they breaks everything down to you.
Okay. And so and so would that be, because I think that you can actually have you can have a subscription with my FICO, right?
And
And they can show you your score. Would that be the site that you would suggest to use if you wanted a true?
absolutely,
Okay. So for a
absolutely.
true depiction of your FICO score, you want to use myfico.com, right?
But just keep that little disclaimer, it's over 20 plus. So that don't mean necessarily
Right.
that BB&T is going to use the FICO
That
8,
score.
but it is more accurate than the Credit Karma, the Vantage scores.
Okay. Okay. My God. See, I just learned
Yeah,
something today. So I meet a lot of people, of course, right? As a real estate agent, I meet a lot of people who are like, I'm working on my credit, but by February, I'm gonna be straight because I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And so I try to explain to them like, well, you are looking at Credit Karma, or you're looking at what's another big one? Credit
yeah, this,
Sesame.
yeah, Credit Sesame.
Yeah, so I'm like, you're looking at these tools and they're great for knowing what's on your credit and
Right,
being able to monitor it. But because you see the points increase there, it doesn't necessarily mean that the actions that you're taking are working for your FICO score. You should really be working with a professional, someone who can
right.
see those things. And it's always funny because people are like, I just can do it myself. I'm like, okay. And
Mm,
sometimes it works and they know what they're doing and they go ahead on and they score. But sometimes it's like, well, I paid this off. I paid this collection from 10 years off and it was $10,000 on my credit. Well, you could have used that $10,000 somewhere else because now, right?
mm.
That was something that probably should have just been removed anyways.
Absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. I deal with it all day, every day. Well, I paid AT&T and T and it's saying paid on my report. So why did my score go up? I say,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm very transparent. Paid is just as worse as unpaid,
Mhm.
because even though it's gonna show paid, it's still on your credit.
Right.
I was like, so if you're gonna go that route, and I don't discourage no one if they want to pay something off,
Right.
if you're gonna go that route, call and get a pay for delete. And they be like, well, what is that? I said, call up AT&T. Say, I ran into some money, so I want to pay you all, but I'm gonna pay you. But can you delete it off of my credit? And sometimes you may get pushback. You may have to speak with a supervisor or something like that. And sometimes they may just flat out and tell you no. That's okay, because even if you pay it, then give us the receipts and then we'll go about the process of disputing it, getting it removed. Because 8 times out of 10, if we start a dispute process and it's been paid, they gonna be like, okay, whatever.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
even gonna reply to that. So
So I don't even need to waste my time because I know I already got
right.
my money.
I done got my
Okay.
money. Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So, what advice would you give to someone? I would say two different things. So, this isn't what the exact question says, right? But what advice would you give to someone who is in like, oh, my credit is bad right now, but I can't afford to pay a credit specialist or a person? What steps would you give them, or things that they could do on their own to kind of help move towards a better score? Like maybe they have collections, or maybe they have high APR credit cards or something.
Well, a lot of people will come to me because they can't afford me at the moment, and I'll tell them, you have one or two choices. You can wait till you can afford my services, or I have a do-it-yourself ebook, 12 easy
Okay.
ways to repair your own credit.
Hmm.
In that book, step by step, tells you what to do, tell you all different type of the same knowledge that I learned. That's the blueprint. It's letters in that book. It's the addresses to where you can mail the letters to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. So basically, I tell them, you can fix your own credit, because a lot of people ask me, well, is this something that I can do myself? Absolutely.
Right.
Most of my people don't have the time to do it themselves, so they
Yes.
reach out to
That's
me.
me. That's
Yeah,
me.
like if you have the time, but you
Mhm.
low on funds, grab that book.
Right.
Grab that book
Okay.
and fix your own credit. Outside of that, if you can't afford the book, which the book is $50, if you can't
Okay.
afford the book, then that's when, just get your credit reports in front of you, see what's on there. Like I said, try your hand at those pay for delete. You may just get somebody having a good day and they'll agree, well, yeah, if
Mhm.
you pay this, I'll take it off of there, and things like that.
Okay.
Work on if you have no positive credit, because some people like, well, I can't get approved for nothing, work on try to get a secured card, because I have a few clients that have negatives, but they have good credit as well. So they still in the 600s with negative things on their reports because
Mhm.
they're building positive credit. So that's superseding, that's trumping the negative
The
credit.
negative. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And so for our teenagers, right, the young ones, or for
Right.
parents who have teenagers coming up, what's some advice that you would give to them to help the young ones just kind of start off on the right track? I know me starting out, I think I was 18 when I got my first credit card. It was like a $300 spending limit, and I spent it all. I spent it all like immediately.
Oh yeah, I have three teenagers, so one of them I have to strangle from time to time. So
Mhm.
I definitely get it. So I tell them, like my kids, it's okay to have one credit card. It's
Mhm.
okay to have two, but make sure what you do is you keep those credit utilizations where they need to be, 30% and under. Don't get anything that you can't afford to pay back or you don't want to pay back. Don't go out here just applying for stuff willy nilly,
Right.
just because you done got this good 600 plus credit score. So,
Yeah.
just basically just, don't go on a financial spending spree, applying for everything, getting in a bunch of debt. With my daughter, she's 16. So I've added her as an authorized user to my credit cards to help her
Mhm.
build her credit. So that's the thing. We wasn't taught credit in school, money
Right.
managing credit, finances, student loan debts, and whatnot. So, it's just a basic matter of talking to your children, or if you feel like you're not equipped to talk to them, seek out somebody such as myself. I take pride in talking to teenagers because you can
Right.
kind of groom them early. So,
Mhm.
reach out to somebody that can tell them, what to do and how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is key right there, cuz I think when I started, I didn't know anything really about credit as a teenager. I didn't really start to think about credit. It wasn't even when I bought my first car. I didn't start to think about credit until I became a realtor in
Mhm.
2012.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to buy my own house. Like, and that's when I started to think about credit, because it was very different from, I had already been able to get a car. Even though it was expensive, I was able to do it. I already had credit cards. So I was just like, I don't need to apply for anything else. So I didn't start to really think about credit and how it affected me and my life until I was ready to buy a house, and they were like, no. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean no? Like, I pay rent, so if I can pay rent here, why can't I pay a mortgage? I'm really
Right.
confused. And I hear a lot of people say that. A lot of people are like, I've been paying my rent faithfully for this many years. And so if I can do that and I can show proof that I've been paying my rent, why won't they give me a mortgage?
It's deeper than that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You have to be able to show that you can manage all of your bills, because differently from a mortgage to renting is that even though you have been paying it, technically if you don't pay it, there's a long process to go through eviction, right?
Right.
And even on top of that, aside from just your mortgage payment, now you have repairs. Now
Right.
you have so many more things to be responsible for as a homeowner that you don't necessarily have as a renter.
Right. And I met one client in my whole time of doing this was 60 something, never had a credit card, paid for everything cash. Her car is paid for cash. She's renting, and I went to pull her credit and I was like, you don't have any credit. And she's like, yeah,
Right.
I know. I got good credit because I ain't got no credit. No,
Mm-mm.
ma'am. That
And
that
don't
is
mean the
not
same
true.
thing.
That is not true. She's like, but
Right.
I don't want know credit cards. I was like, the big misconception, credit cards is dangerous. Credit
Mhm.
cards is not dangerous. It's the people that's using the cards that's dangerous.
Right.
Credit cards is not dangerous.
Right, right,
I was like,
right.
trust me, I got a whole wallet full of them. They are not
They're not
dangerous.
dangerous. Yeah. As
Yeah,
long as you
so
know to use them and then pay it back. For example, I have a friend who who, not even my friend, my kids, they would tell me, just use the credit card. Just use the
yeah,
credit card. It's not your money anyways. And I'm like, but it is. You
right,
still have to pay this money back. It's not like free money. That's not how credit cards work.
right,
But movies and TV shows have kids thinking, just use a credit card. You don't have to pay it. You don't have to pay it. So it's really important, I think, to make sure that we teach the kids that, and moving forward, because I didn't know.
right.
And
Because, like I told you, you have to establish a payment history. I'm not gonna loan you because she said she only wanted a house $70,000, $80,000. I said, think
mhm,
about this.
that's a lot of
Ask
money.
me, yeah, ask me, will I loan you? Looking at your credit report with no credit, ask me, will I loan you $80,000? She was like, well, would you loan me $80,000? I said, no.
Right.
I said, no, because for one, you have no payment history. You have not shown or proven to be a responsible citizen, paying things on time,
Right.
accumulating. This 3-digit number, as horrible as it can be, but this 3-digit number that defines us.
Right.
And like I said, such as herself, no credit, paid for everything in cash, pay her rent one time, good citizen. But the
Right.
mortgage companies don't know you're a good citizen, so I'm not gonna loan you $80,000 because I don't know you like that. So
Yeah.
that's what I try to explain. And we went through this process. She got a credit card. She got an installment loan.
Mhm.
I think it was a jewelry account. She got another credit card. She had like 3 accounts. She just closed on her house February of this year. I said,
Okay.
see, I
Yeah.
told you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So what questions do you get asked the most? So when somebody comes to you, like, what would you say the, like, I don't know, the top few questions are that you get from everybody?
The top question is credit repair legal? It is very much legal. I was like, they have something which is called the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
Mhm.
These three bureaus that try to define us, they can define us, but they have to define us accurately and report correct information. You can put on there that I owe AT&T, but make sure everything is reporting accurately that I owe AT&T. So I told them, yes, credit repair is very legal because these bureaus have to report fair and accurate information, and not only that, information that's yours. I had 2 people was a victim of identity theft. This is
Mm.
not their stuff, but Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion has put it on their credit that it is their stuff. So we use consumer laws to get these things removed because they supposed to report fair and accurate information. So I get asked, is credit repair legal? Is very legal. I get asked a lot, how can I trust that you're not selling me game, that you're a fraud? I was
Mhm.
like, that's a very good question. Only thing I can give you is my word. Everything I'm connected to, all of my Facebooks, referrals, Instagram, Google, check me out, ask around. So, and I tell a lot of people, I'm not in it for the money. What I do supersedes what you paying me. I'm changing people's lives every day, helping them get their dream home or their dream car, or them feeling comfortable. Now I can take a vacation. I have credit. I can take a vacation that I so been wanting to take because you
Right.
helped me get my credit straight. So, I just get asked questions like that. How long is the process gonna take?
Mhm.
Definitely more than 30 days.
Yeah.
So if you're in a rush, I'm not even gonna take your money. So,
Yeah.
I told them it is a process. I'm there with you, there for you. So because your win is my win. So
Right.
I was like, questions like that.
Yeah. So, have you ever been riding around and you see like street signs that say quick fix your credit or credit repair now, only $200, fix in 30 days or anything like that? What what or even where they'll say, I think the one that I saw was something like have your credit erased or start over or something like that, and it was like $250. What have you ever seen that, or have you heard of people literally just having their credit erased?
I have, and it is called credit sweep. It's
Uh-huh.
illegal. It's illegal, and the person that's sweeping this stuff off of your credit, their head's not going to be on the chopping block. It's going to be yours. Credit repair, credit sweep is very illegal. What they do, they go in and they file everything is not yours, not mine's, not mine's. So what the credit bureaus do is because you said not mine, they're gonna sweep everything off of your credit. But then when they really do their investigation and come to find out that these things are indeed yours, they're gonna put it right back up on your credit. So
Mhm.
it's very illegal. So, like I said, if you see someone with those false promises, I would run because the way that we do it, we use a metro compliance system that we're challenging the accuracy of how these things is reporting. So when these things get removed, they can't reappear on your credit, at least not from that same company anyway. Now,
Mhm.
can they sell that account once it came off of your credit the right way? Can they sell it? Absolutely. So if they sell it to another collection agency and they get in touch with you, what you do at that point, you do want to settle and talk to them and go ahead and pay it because it can reappear but under a different collection company.
That is insane.
Yes.
It's enough that so on your credit you'll have the original creditor in which you quit paying or whatever. So like your
Mhm.
credit card, right? If you have a credit card with say Capital One and you stop paying that credit card or whatever happened, and then it goes into collections. They charge it off, but you still have what 3 to 6 months of late delinquencies on your credit, and then it shows that it's been charged off because it still stays on your credit report, right?
It can.
And then they sell it to a collection company, and that collection company also reports it on
Yes.
your credit as unpaid, and it's pretty like it's now a larger or a different amount because there's additional fees put onto it also
Yes.
sometimes, I think, right?
Yes.
And so even if you get it removed, it has the possibility of coming back as a from a different collection company.
It's a slim chance. I like to once again be honest with people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll just remain, say for instance with AT&T. That happened with me. Once I got it off of my report from a collection agency, it didn't reappear. But what
Okay.
happened, I was like, "Oh, I can go to AT&T and give me some new service and run it back up."
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So when they put my social in, they're like, you owe us 300, you owe us $300." Uh,
Right.
and so at that point with AT&T, I said, "Well, do I have to pay it all? Can I settle?" And they was like, "Well, if you settle with us, then you're gonna have to do a deposit with your new account, or
Hmm.
you can pay it off with us, and it's a chance you may not have to do no deposit at all." But it reappearing, I just like to set expectations. It don't
Yeah,
happen all the time that
but it just
it'll
can.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just still crazy because even though even in the beginning stage before you even do anything about it, you're basically being penalized twice for one account.
Yes.
And that
I've
is
seen yes.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the craziest part about it all.
I have seen that, like you said, the original creditor is up there plus the collection company. And that's something that we do. We go after both of them in our disputes. So because we was like, how is you gonna report it twice up there?
Right.
It looks like I owe two people when in
Mhm.
actuality I owe just one person.
Yeah, yeah, and I know
So
because I went through some of this when I was the first go around when I bought my house. I went through some of this with like my own personal credit, and
Mhm.
my loan officer at the time, she basically kind of told me what to do. And
Mhm.
sometimes I listened, and sometimes I didn't listen. All I did was prolong the amount of time that it
Yeah.
took me to actually buy my house. Okay, and are there what else do you think is important for people to know, not just when they are in the process of buying a house, but just in general, like dealing with credit, dealing with, everyday life stuff when let's just say hard times come about. How should you deal with your credit accounts and your creditors rather than just not paying them?
And that's a very good question because, like with the pandemic, a lot of people fell on hard times, and I told them, don't ignore your bills. You got this far, and a situation came up. Do not ignore. Most creditors, if you call them, explain your situation to them, they will work with you. If you ignore them and run from them and they keep calling you, that's the time they're going to take action. Or if it's been 30 days, that's the time they're going to update the credit bureaus. Hey, you one time 30-day late and
Mhm.
things of that sort. So I tell them, just call them and tell them your situation, get an extension, see if you can pay something and they waive the interest or the late charge or anything to help you out. But whatever you do, don't ignore
Mhm.
your debt.
Okay. And any other advice you have for the people?
I just say, borrow responsibly. Don't get over your head with anything just because it's available. Don't get it if you don't have to. Just make sure you only get things as needed. We truly don't need a bunch of credit cards. It's just some we like to have. Use them, responsibly. Most of the time, I just whip out mines for emergency purposes.
Right.
Lately with the pandemic, they were saying if you didn't use your credit, they will lower it or even
Mhm.
close your account. So in instances like those, get some gas, grab you a meal, anything
Right.
to keep your account active. But
Right.
just borrow responsibly. Don't go over your head. Keep that open line of communication with your creditors if you run across hard times.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
she means, right, you mean use your card to keep it open, but buy things you buy anyways because you
Yeah.
already have the money to pay it back.
Right.
Not things like go buy a TV because it's
Yeah.
on sale at Walmart.
Right. And definitely, I'm glad you mentioned that with the holidays coming. I've already sent out a blast of emails to my clients. Don't you do it.
Right.
Don't you do it. And I
Exactly.
sent out not only my current clients, but my past clients, because I told them, I said, I got you to the finish line.
Mhm.
I had two people have backtracked because they messed their credit up. And I told them, if you mess up and you come back, I'm going to take your money again and again and
And again.
again. So, and I don't want to do that, but it's business, nothing personal. So,
Right, right, right. So as much as
just
I love helping you, I have to feed my family too.
right.
Yes.
So just with the holidays coming, don't you tell them Santa has COVID.
Right.
So Santa has
I got
COVID
COVID.
this year. So don't go over your head. Kids, they understand.
Yeah.
It's us that want to be fancy, but they
That is
understand.
true. That is true. That's me, especially my three. I have a almost 3-year old, and I'm like, oh, she needs this and she needs this and she
Yeah,
don't need that mess. That baby is happy playing with a box.
yeah, exactly.
She is happy playing with the box.
Well, yeah.
So tell us how to get in contact with you. So, if I have people who want to get in touch with you directly, especially because you're local, I love working with local people. How do they get in contact with you?
Okay, the website is www.genesisconsultingexperts.com. I'm on Facebook at Fixed Credit Phyllis, or you may find it under Genesis Consulting Experts. I'm on Instagram, Genesis underscore consultant experts, and the number one signature, my phone number, even though it's a 855, but it's
Hmm.
1855 Phyllis.
Okay.
So You can't
All
forget
right.
that number,
Can't forget that.
855.
855 Phyllis.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so very much for taking the time today to come and hop on this Zoom and have this interview with me today. I'm excited. I look forward to more. And yeah,
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Credit is my passion.
yeah,
Anyone can tell you, like, credit is my passion. I want to see everybody successful. My motto, once you get to the top, sit back down for the rest of the people that's willing, that wants
yes,
to go to the top. So, credit is my passion. I want to help you get that nice house. Right now, I think
right.
I own about 15 houses. I said, because
What?
if I help you close, my houses too.
I
So,
know. Yes,
yes, yeah,
exactly.
I own about 15 houses. I want to own 1,500.
I
So,
know, and that's what we want. We want people to help us get to where we want to go, but because they have a passion for it, not because they
right,
are solely concerned with lining their pockets, right?
right, exactly.
Well, I appreciate you
Thank
today. All
you.
right, and
Have
we'll
a
see
good
you
one.
guys next time.
All right, thank you.